Let's go. Tuesday, August 12th. Welcome to Covers' Best Bets MLB edition. Josh Ingles, Derek Carty, soon to be joined by John Metler. The NFL season is around the corner. Week one. Start the MLB show by prepping the NFL season coming. That's how we do things around these parts. Preseason week one is done. Preseason week two starting this week. And isn't it nice? After a long summer of baseball, you know the grind more than anybody, Derek. There's nothing like the MLB grind in any other sport when it comes to betting. So once the NFL news starts and we start overreacting to snap counts and preseason game one, isn't it a fresh breath of air to the sports betting world?
Yeah, it is. I know a lot of people wait for it. People say baseball season is long. I don't mind baseball season being so long. I love it, but I do love football too. It is nice when we have some other stuff to dig into.
What's the biggest ramp up heading into a season for you and projection wise with the blitz and the bat? Is it baseball or is it football?
It's tough. It's probably football at this point, just because there's a little bit more manual work that needs to be done in terms of following, the camp reports matter more than spring training reports do. And, who's the third wide receiver on the depth chart, who's going to make the roster, who's going to, have what role. Like there's a lot more of that kind of stuff with football.
Yahtzee's throwing heat at you, bud. He's saying, I can't wait to hear how Derek Carty hates your favorite NFL rookie. In gist, obviously. But do you think same thing? We talked about it in baseball too, but do we overinflate rookie stuff heading into basically every season?
Basically, yeah. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. last year was just so overpriced. And I do think this year there's some exceptions. Like, I don't think Jonty is a bad pick where he's going. He should get a ton of volume. I think Travis Hunter is kind of maybe being undervalued because people are uncertain of what the role is going to be on offense. So this year there might be a little bit more interest in rookies, but yeah, they tend to get pushed up more than they probably should.
All right. Full slate.
Sorry,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, especially in a redraft, home league setting, in your home league, you don't need to be taking shots on league winners or whatever, drafting for upside and best ball or something. Sure. But you can win your home league without drafting a rookie easily.
Now I have to get a piece of something with Trayvon Henderson, not just because he ran one to the house on a play that probably wouldn't give him any points in terms of betting his over yardage. First touch to the house, 100 yards. But producer Mick has been absolutely talking up Trayvon Henderson, who it's hard to find markets for guys like that because you're like, okay, the guy's going to be the pass catching back. Give me to lead rookie running backs in receiving yards. That market kind of doesn't exist, but that's somewhere where you'd look for someone like Trayvon Henderson, who looks like an absolute beast right now. Release procedure as we move on away from NFL talk. That's absolutely going to dominate everything. Thanks for everybody joining. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't. Wild Turkey, thanks for double dutying it here. We'll tell you the book. We'll tell you the game. We'll tell you the market. We'll tell you the player. We'll tell you the over-under. Let us know where it is. Let us know where it's moving. We'll try to tell you the buy prices, as we know not everybody has those outs. Maybe you used to have those outs, and now you don't have those outs. That's the name of the game, keeping things alive. Let's start off. Bet365 in what has become one of the hardest markets to find. You can get player walks now more widely available than pitcher walk unders, which doesn't make any sense. We're going Pittsburgh. We're going Milwaukee. Yes, Peralta versus Skeens. And let's take this, make sure our number's still there, 145. Freddie Peralta, under 2.5 walks, minus 145 here at 365. It's a tough one because I think this is only available, the under walks is only available at 2 other books now? How has that landscape changed so drastically?
I don't know. I guess it was a very profitable market, and I think it's the books. They probably realize they're getting hit on them, and so they tighten it up so that they aren't getting exposed as much. But it's frustrating. It's not like it's some really weird niche thing. It's walks. You can offer walks. Books should. I don't know. I'm annoyed by it.
Jason Wolf saying, I believe that's the only other book right now, Hard Rock, giving the under outs. I think there's one more. DraftKings will open it up a little later in the day, but they
just have the over to start the day. They'll have the under sometimes. You can find it on exchanges. You can find it on, Fliff, and I think certain Canadian books have it that I don't have access to. But yeah, it's annoying that it's annoying.
I'm sure if this does fall to 1.5, that the value will still be there. If it does flip to that plus 180, plus 185 range, coming in with extra rest. There's one check mark. Cluster of 12 walks over his last 4 starts, where he had just 11 in his previous 8 starts. So buying the dip here on Freddie Peralta versus a Pittsburgh team that doesn't walk too much, I'd assume, without the numbers in front of me. Not going to say Pittsburgh's one of the heavier walk teams or one of the most dangerous road teams in baseball. Let's go. DK, there's Nick Porto saying DK seems to wait for lineups. Okay, so that's probably where it is. That makes sense. So around that 3-hour mark. Washington, Kansas City, late ad here. We're at Bet365, widely available. Nationals, Royals. Numbers still hanging there. Pitcher outs. Let's go Kansas City's Michael Wacha, under 17.5 outs, plus 120. Plus 115 is pretty much across the board everywhere else. Wacha, low K percentage. It was a late add to me. Where did it jump up, and where did you find the value to add this late to the card, Derek?
Yeah, I don't know if I just didn't notice it my first pass through, or if they opened it a little bit later, but this one shows good value. The bat's projecting a little under 16 outs here, about a 60% win rate on this. So at plus 120, we're definitely looking at some solid value here. Wacha is not an especially good pitcher. He doesn't have an especially long leash. He is in Kansas City today, where it is, I want to double check, but it is very, very hot last I saw. Like 80, low 80s. So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at here.
Jordan Battlinger says, not available on DK. I don't know if he's referring to, I'm assuming he's referring to the walk market for Peralta, because I think Wacha's under out should be at DraftKings, widely available pretty much everywhere else. All right, stay in that game. Go to DraftKings. Not often we're hitting here. Now, when we get to talk about, if you're just new to betting, if you're just looking to get your one book in there and start from there, people shout at you to get many books, and obviously at the end of the day, it's the smartest thing. But you're going to start with one book. Bet365 does have the best odds overall. You're probably going to get limited there quick. I get it. But as a guy who doesn't have a ton of outs, I do have a DraftKings outs, and the numbers are always just maybe 5 or 10 points off the best price. So I think DraftKings is another good book that you should always have, because the prices are not always, the odds always aren't the best, but they're close. So Abrams has moved significantly there. 60 points on the walk.
60. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, we're probably out on that. I don't think did they have him? Let me see if they had him. Yeah, 365 did have him. If he's there, we can take it there. It's at, yeah.
Where's the 365?
The 330 is not even terrible. But 365 had plus 375, I think. So if that's there.
Yep. All right, Chris McCauley, Jordan saying no FD, no Wacha. 365 does not have him. Who are we talking about, Chris? We need names, guys. We need names.
Well, I guess they're talking about CJ Abrams. All right, we'll just scrap him for today then.
How did they know we were doing Abrams? Did we say something?
I have no idea.
Oh, I think producer Mick had the cursor over him. Okay.
Oh, okay.
That's why. I'm like, wow, you guys are smart. No, plus 300. Mike's saying plus 300 on Abrams. Probably not.
Plus 300 is no good.
I think you were just on the buy at plus 330 and kind of wouldn't make the card if you knew it was there.
Right. Yeah. The 330 is okay. 300 is I'm definitely out on.
Yeah. The 390 at DraftKings was a slight outlier. I think it was down sub 300 in some other places. Well, yeah. Michael Wacha, you did have him projected okay for his over 1.5 walks at plus 162 today. So that correlates there. Let's go home run hitting. Let's go single game hunting. Let's go Chicago, Toronto. We're at Bally Bets. Some wide variety in these home run markets, especially in this Cubs Jays game as the Cubs come to Toronto. Ben Brown back in the lineup. Mike Soroka back on the shelf after the late addition from the Nationals. Let's make sure our numbers are there. 850 there. That's a good number. And Alejandro Kirk for a home run. 850. The 750 is more widely available. This does have a slight outlier price at like 850 to 750. Is that 750 still good? That's pretty much across the board as well, Derek.
Yeah, I'm still fine at the 750. That shows plenty of value where I would be comfortable betting that if that was the only line available.
And yes, Jordan and Bollinger says yes, the DraftKings number was significantly different than everything else. There are some other
550 at DraftKings is not good. Do not bet that one.
That's I don't know if do you have a fair price somewhere close to that? So I'm guessing that 550 is probably closer to the fair price.
Yeah, the bet's projected fair price is 584.
Okay.
So the 550 is actually negative expected value.
Yeah. Bet the number, people. Bet the number. Walker disappeared. DK FanDuel. That is interesting, Larry. I don't think was there rain or something. Was there anything projected in there that would make everybody wipe it off?
That's a good question. I did not look at rain this
morning.
No,
it's nothing crazy. I think he has something like maybe late start, maybe yellow green for Kansas City.
Okay, yeah. So nothing really. Yeah, there's really nothing.
Might just be volume wide. Just came off.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So we're Kirk facing Ben Brown, who, like I said, went to the bullpen, has come out. Soroka picked up that shoulder injury, so Ben Brown can get hit around, but we're going to stay there. We're going to stay at Bally Bets. We're going to stay in this game, and we're going to go Vladdy. Oh, we're at 365. Good thing I paid attention.
I think he got pulled there.
What? What is happening? Where's the Kirk price there? The Kirk price there is 750.
Yeah, the 750 is definitely good for Kirk.
Does Bally still have that number or no? Did that move? There we go. There's the 500 there. There's Vladdy for 500. And I'll get to your question in a second here, Brian. Let's go Vladdy for a home run at plus 500. Pre-show 475 at MGM, 450 at Rivers, 425 at DK. Ben Brown 16 home runs over 92 innings. How far are you taking it? Because it's funny what he is all year, and he's projected positively from like game one on at that 400 or better home run price. And we've seen him. He's a really good case study to see how books price these and how matchup based that their prices are, because they'll go 500 to plus 325 sometimes, but this is a good matchup that should be priced in even more, I think.
Yeah. As far as other numbers, I'm good down to the 425. 400 is probably where I'm bowing out. But you can find this plenty of other books between these prices. I don't understand why they're still pricing Vlad like this. Like early in the year, they were pricing him and he was showing great value and he wasn't hitting home runs. Like he was cold. And we knew that was going to turn around. So we just kept betting Vlad and he's been very profitable. But he's like been hitting home runs now. He's up to like 20 home runs on the year or something like that. I don't know why they continue to price him so poorly, but I will take it. I'm a Ben Brown fan. Like I think he is way better than the surface numbers indicate this year, but clearly he's struggling. Clearly there are some home run issues. And even considering that the bat likes him as a pitcher, we're still showing value on these Blue Jays guys. So I like this. It's a good park. Roof is open, good weather, and they're just mispricing Vlad consistently.
It's hot here too. Like it's stinking hot here. So that roof will probably likely be open. Over 2.5 home runs. When I saw that you picked the same game, I saw obviously the big correlation in home runs in this game. Jose Barrios on the other side also isn't immune to giving up the long ball. Over 2.5 home runs. Search that out. That's a DraftKings -105. The over, Derek says the projection is about 2.99 home runs in that game. So some plus EV for that over 2.5 home runs. If people in the city want to bet on the long ball, I might be dropping that later too. Let's go on the other side of the dugout. Let's go third base side. Sorry, first base side. First base side. Come on, Josh. Know your dugouts. Home runs. Same book, Bally here. This time we're going Michael Busch at 510 for a home run. Michael Busch plus 510 for a home run. Plus 475 is widely available. Barrios, as I said, home run heavy, sometimes 5 home runs. Home run in 5 straight starts, 7 total. DK as short as 390. Sorry, DK guys. They are the short one. And like I said, DK over 2.5 home runs, -105. Do you like Brown over 2.5 earned runs at plus 130 from a good listener, good community guy, Chris McCauley? Leash could be a concern for Brown, no?
Yeah, he's not fully built up because he was working out of the bullpen a little bit. I'm not showing any value on the earned runs under, only projecting 75 pitches here for Brown. So, and again, I think Brown is a better pitcher. I think he's been getting unlucky to a large degree this year. So, I probably wouldn't be in on that one.
300 at FanDuel. That's a tough one too. And that's it. And then that's like, just show some restraint. And again, we are quarter units on all Derek's home run plays. Just show some restraint on number stuff. And home run props are a perfect example of how to do it. Because it's easier to say, okay, I'm not taking it at 200 points difference. But when we're looking at outs markets and we're like, maybe I'll take 15 points off what someone told me to bet. Yeah, probably not. Like at plus 120, give or take 15 points from where they are. Because at the end of the day, like those markets aren't going to be 45 points off sometimes. Sometimes the market moves that way, but just assume 15 to 20 points.
Yeah, that's usually a good rule of thumb.
Yeah, juice them. Juice them. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the books. Producer Mick on the buttons. Appreciate it. Down on the bottom. There's Derek's plays. We got our numbers. We got some chats going. And we'll be back tomorrow with Derek. I'm going to do plays. We got another 8 plays coming up with John Metler, but we bid Derek Carty adieu. We'll see you tomorrow at 9:30. Thanks again, pal. 9:15.
Have a good one.
All right. We are back with our man, John Metler. Let's bring him in. Have you bet anything on NFL preseason yet?
Haven't bet anything on NFL preseason
What?
yet. I feel like you got to take the time to like go through and like actually it's very similar to like NBA Summer League where I feel like if you sit down and you actually start going through like the minutes, who's playing, who's practicing, you start to read those things and go for and find information, you can find a really good bet, but you got to take that time to like go through and do it. And I have not taken that time to go through NFL stuff.
100%, right? Like it's some of the stuff you read and you're like, that's not going to convince me to make this bet. They're like, this coach is like this in the preseason. You're like, well, very different teams, very different situations, very different. Just let me know the quarterback carousel and I'll hopefully figure it out from there. But I don't know what NBA Summer League is, but the NFL is just like, no, we're just going to go for it on this random 4th down at midfield that we would never do. Like the game's slightly different. And I don't know if anyone was on the Chargers over on Sunday, but it was a miracle over. We got 5 plays. I got 4. Sorry, you got 3. Back on the home run props. Nick Porto is in my mind yet again. Insane how that's you're one of the only people who sit there and every time before I get to my play, it's right there. Producer Mick, bring it up. Boom. There's our guy, Jacob Lopez, under 16.5 outs. Even money. I think, and I'll get to Baze in a bit in this game, I think Jacob Lopez should be shorter than Baze. And yes, go look at what he did in his last game. Absolutely incredible stuff. 114 pitches. 114 pitches. I wrote 124 down, but good thing I didn't say it. He's averaging 92 before that. That is a significant one. And you've heard me talk about that point. You've heard Derek say that's something that he might try to want to quantify. Guys coming off massive workloads, like we're talking 15, 20 pitches more than average, and what they do in that next start. Let's add in one of the best hitting parks in all of baseball. Jacob Lopez under 16.5 outs is my favorite bet of the day. I think you bet this to even money, 15.5. 10-mile-an-hour winds blowing out to left field, 86-degree heat, and already one of the best neutral hitting ballparks in baseball. Now we got better conditions. 5-1 to the under at home in his last 6 starts. No one pitches well at what is it? Sutter Health Field. Love this under. Cardi liked home runs in Toronto. And you're targeting the Rogers Center for a home run prop here too, Johnny.
Yeah, you guys were making me nervous. Kept going back to the Jays Cubs game. I'm like, are they going to take my guy here? I'm going Seiya Suzuki to hit home run plus 375. A lot of the reasons you guys are talking about, I mean, Rogers Center is a good hitting ballpark. If the dome is open, it does say the wind's blowing out to center field at 10 miles per hour. So not even that you really need help in that ballpark, but that would be, something to keep an eye on, I guess. So I'm not sure. Is it confirmed that the dome is open? I know you guys were talking about that. Is that 100% confirmed, or
no? I don't know if it'll be confirmed, but I mean, in our funny metrics, it's going to feel like 35, 36, 37.
Yeah, it's hot. Yeah, it's really hot. It's really hot here too in Detroit where I am. So yeah. So anyways, I'm going to say Suzuki. So he's going against Jose Barrios, like you were talking about, right-handed pitcher. It is righty, but Barrios 20 home runs on the year, 14 to right-handed batters on the season. So it's kind of like those kind of reverse splits. It is righty. Suzuki as well. He's running pretty. He's got a hit in 4 straight games. A bunch of walks too. I feel like that always stands out when it comes to like hitting home runs. I feel like it means you're seeing the ball. And of course, you always like when you see some good BVP. I think he's 3 for 5 with a single and a double. No home runs, but who knows? The double could have been close to home run. So you kind of stack all these things together. Plus 375 does feel kind of short. I feel like anytime you get below like plus 400 on these home run props, you're like, I don't know if that's a good price. I thought this should be closer to like plus 230. So there's actually a really strong probability gap here, especially when those numbers get that low and then there's that much difference in sense. It also equals like more in that percentage. So give me Suzuki plus 375 to hit homer.
All right. You guys keeping me honest there in the chat. Uncle Josh trying to pull the rug over your eyes because the number's gone. It's just the way the show goes. Like we have to tell producer Mick to I got mine at DraftKings. Yes, thank you. Sorry. I'll take the minus 115. I'll put the minus 115 for Lopez on my record because that's still available at Fanatics. There's still a minus 125 available there. Yes, Blue, we will absolutely do that. So I'll put the minus 115 on the record. Fanatics has Lopez there. I think you go to that Lopez to minus 125 as I see lots of people playing it. It's moving a lot. So there it is. So there's your question. I think if you can get the minus 125 at 16.5, you take that. But once it hits the minus 130, Nick, then you pivot over to the 15.5 at even money. I think that's the way. Good. Yes. DK just flipped 15. If you can get the minus 120, minus 115, minus 125, take it at the 16. But once that hits minus 130, go get the even money because I don't think there's much value between the 15 and the 16 in terms of, I mean, you're already out there. It's very, you're not going to go out there for the 6th inning, get the 1 out and usually gone. You're usually done at that point. So keep me on my toes if that number moves because we had to get the stuff done, the graphic done, and things move, especially when Derek's number shows there. So let me know where this number is too. This was a DraftKings number, same game, Tampa Bay at the Athletics. And I already mentioned it, Shane Baz. I don't think this one projects as well. So the influence of Derek's numbers isn't going to move it as well. Good morning to Mary Don Yeezy. Minus 120, under 16.5 outs. I thought this should be, I don't know. This should be 15. The bat doesn't have it as much as plus EV as the other one, but another Sutter Park fade with Baz who projects for just 89 pitches and is in no man's land at the 16.5. If you're the outs better, if you know these markets, 16.5 has a lot of variance. It can go up. It could go down. Still minus 120. Thank you, Yahtzee. Appreciate that. Got it at DraftKings. 4 straight games of 15 or fewer outs, having given up 19 runs in his last 18 innings. The guy's been getting banged up. He's been awful at home with a 6.5 ERA. But Josh, he's not at home. But yes, Sutter Health Park is literally as close as home park as you can get as Steinbrenner Field, because as we've seen it in the chat, it's a Mickey Mouse park. It's a minor league park, and it's got tough hitting conditions with 10-mile-an-hour winds blowing out. going to be a tough spot. That Athletics offense is still absolutely loaded in the top, and Shane Baz's form is trash. Johnny, J-Rod, always good, getting home run props away from T-Mobile. Camden ranks as the number 4 home run park, and it's Dean Kramer who allowed over his last 3 games. Who you got?
Yes, Seiya Suzuki was at ESPN or the Score, depending on where you are. But this one is at BetMGM. So I grabbed Julio Rodriguez plus 425. He's running hot. I think we had a home run bet on him a couple of days ago. It didn't cash, but the bat hasn't slowed down here. He's had a couple home runs since then. I think he's got over 1,000 OPS over his last 7 days. And like you said, now you put him in Camden Yards. The wind's blowing out to his pole side left field about 8 miles per hour. It's going to be 87, sunny, hot. He's going against Dean Kremer. Dean Kremer is more susceptible to left-handed batters than right-handed batters. But then again, you look at the BVP numbers here. He's 5 for 8 with a double, with a home run against Dean Kremer. It's like impossible to ignore that, especially like you said, when you're putting him into Camden Yards. Plus 425. This one didn't have the biggest like expected value. I thought this should be closer to like plus 350. So the cents really do matter if you're going to bet this. This is just one of those props where, there's always like the math side of it. And then there's just like the human side where you're like, wow, I could really see this happening. And like you said, you put him into a hitter's ballpark. I can really see this happening for Julio Rodriguez. And there is kind of that edge there. I know it was like plus 400, plus 425. If it drops like plus 350, I'll just leave it alone at that point.
Plus, you always want that 6:35 game on the card. I don't know why, but like just the wait for games when there's no afternoon games in hockey and basketball and everything, it's just the worst. So getting a 6:35 game in the card always feels like a plus EV move. 8-mile-an-hour winds blowing out to left field. 87 degrees with 63 humidity. It's a good hitter's park. And Derek's always said that he doesn't think that the hitting profile of Camden, how they've changed it, is priced in properly. Going back to that pick that I just had, Baz minus 120. There's minus 125 there, 365. FanDuel minus 120 right now for that. And it's the same thing. I'll take Baz on that same situation as I did for Lopez. If that gets to minus 135, wait for the flip to 15, get even money or plus money on the under 15 and a half. Jack Flaherty owes me some coin. Jack Flaherty absolutely owes me some coin. That was maybe one of the worst performances I've seen in baseball versus Minnesota, a game that you were in, a frustrating game because the bats tried to get him there. But I think here I'm buying this to even money, plus 125. I got plus 120 in my account. That was at DraftKings, plus 125 available at 365 before the show. Let me know if that's somewhere, if that's moving, if we got to find a better price. Yellow, orange with rain around start time. That's always nice to know. ERA about 2 points higher on the road. That's another checkpoint. You get the Chicago White Sox discount because they get priced into the ground. And he's coming off that terrible start versus Minnesota. Projects for 16.56 outs, 94 pitches. Like I said, I think this is a buy to even money. Plus 110. Jared King, thank you for keeping it honest. Plus 110 at 365. Let me know what the DraftKings price is right now because it's one of the ones sometimes you can find, if you're using Derek's numbers, you can find ones that aren't going to move as much, but Flaherty was on the top of the list. So let's see what we got here for Flaherty. Ooh, guns to some minus 105s. Bet 365 still the best at plus 110. Plus 105, Hard Rock, minus 105. I said even money. I think that's as far as you dip your toes in it. Blue, minus 105 in that spot with the projections there, 94. Come on, Rain. Come on, Jack Flaherty. Don't need to push him. That's what we do with him. And let's be honest, John, kind of a rookie move on my end to fade the guy who I bought into the week before because he pissed me off. No?
Didn't you had it was Tiger's money line with him, right? And you got like
to record the win.
It was like minus 120. Then wasn't it like minus one? It moved to minus 190.
Yeah, the same thing. That's why I got to keep these guys got to keep telling me what the price is because before the show was minus 120, and then I think Minnesota said all was going to start, and then it went to minus 172 or something.
Yeah, I think that scenario in the morning, I think they had Joe Ryan listed as the starter, and then it got switched, or at least some spots had it. Some people.
No, it was nobody. They had the TBD.
Yeah, I saw Joe Ryan a couple spots, and then TBD a bunch of spots. I think there might have been confusion from the sports books about that initial price there. So
yeah, that was a 50-point drop during the show. All right, Dodgers facing Victor Medeiros. They have two Medeiroses on the team. One has an eye, one does not. I found that out because I have no idea who that guy is. He just got promoted. He has a mid-3 ERA at AAA. Not sure about the leash, but you got a home run prop here from the Dodgers in a good hitting park.
Yeah, I'll touch. So I'm going to Teoscar Hernandez to hit home run plus 440 at FanDuel. I'll talk about the leash because you just brought it up. This does kind of feel like he wouldn't be many innings, like maybe like 4 or 5. I mean, I was looking at minor league stats like you were. He did go to like 6 or 7 a couple, but you don't really know with these guys. And I always love Teoscar Hernandez because you just assume like if you're the Angels, it turns into more of a bullpen game. You're gonna bring in left-handed pitchers to face Freddie Freeman, Shohei Ohtani, Max Muncy, all these guys, and then Teoscar Hernandez just sitting there in the middle of all of them. And he absolutely mashes left-hand pitching. So if you feel like he has an edge on the starter, you feel like you can also maintain that edge throughout the rest of the game. Victor Medeiros, when I looked it up, so I think in the minor leagues this year, he's given up 7 home runs, not many innings, but 5 to righties. This would also be righty-righty. And then also, so I was like, well, it's small sample size. And then last year, he gave up 14 home runs in the minors and like 90 innings and 11 to righties. So you kind of feel like, okay, maybe that is a thing for him. Teoscar Hernandez typically hits left-hand pitchers better, but I think he might have an edge against the right-handed pitcher here. And like I said, depending on how this game plays out, you could catch a better edge later. Plus 440, I like this closer, like plus 330. So I'm going to take Teoscar Hernandez.
All right, my last one as we wrap up Tuesday's show. Tons of picks. Let's have a day. We've mentioned his name. It's time to fade him somehow. Let's go. I tried to find so many angles. There were just so many price points that priced me out on this spot, but Dean Kramer over 1.5 walks. Even money. DraftKings still available. Buy to minus 110. Mariners 10.8% walk rate over the last 2 weeks. That's number 2 in the league behind San Diego, who's just a 1/10 of a point ahead of them. And he's coming off a big game, 103 pitches when he averages 92. So could be some command issues. Could have some issues with quality control, we'll call it. A sprinkle of possible rain is nice to hear, too, when it comes with command stuff. Not enough to push him out, but just enough to bother that grip. At least 1 walk in 16 straight starts. The floor is high, and he's 10-8 to the over on this prop over there. I like this spot versus a high walk rate. I think it's a coin flip in a neutral matchup. Seattle, one of the best walk rates. I think that's where the edge lies, and that rain could help as well. Have you hit any of these home run props? We'll throw you under the bus, Johnny. Of late, we hit Freddie Freeman last week. That's the one we hit.
Oh, we hit Torkelson too on Friday.
Yes, we hit the torque bomb and we hit Freddie Freeman.
I was noticing because I've been off. I'm taking on, like, we've been using a bunch of vacation days, so I'm off a couple days each week. But I think the last 3 Friday shows, I've hit a guy: Tyler Soderstrom, Freddie Freeman, and then Spencer Torkelson. To answer your question, for the whole season, I think it's just under like plus 30 units for the home run prop. So obviously, there's a lot of losing. It's like, say, like 28 wins and like 100 and something losses, but they're also plus 500, plus 400. So that's just kind of how it plays out. But I know I was like plus 25 units. I think I'm about the same, but like plus 28, 29 now. So.
All right, let's go. Tuesday in the books. Lots more going on today. I'll have my pitcher edges and angles coming back later today. Looking at Ranger Suarez walks, maybe some Kyle Freeland walks at plus 180. That's a big one, but I'll drop that in the afternoon plays. But appreciate you, Johnny. Appreciate everybody there in the chat. If you haven't yet, hit that like button. Give us a subscription. Give us a subscribe button. Push. Just do it if you're here. Appreciate everybody there. Great Tuesday. Summer rolling on. Don't think about September. Don't be that guy saying the summer goes by too quickly, because you bring us all down. Take it day by day. It's hot. Enjoy. Drinks, weather, friends. Tuesday in the books. We'll see you back here tomorrow, 9:15. Cheers.